What's up guys, and welcome back to another G35 video. Happy New Year by the way guys. 2022, brand new year, a lot of stuff in the works for the G35 this year. So for 2021, I tried interacting with you guys as much as I could, but for 2022, I want to make that a bigger thing. I'll get people that reach out and they want to, hang out and stuff. So I want to do that more often, film videos with you guys if you guys are interested in that as well. It'd be really cool to see your guys' builds and then be able to do maybe even races or whatnot. Thank you to everybody who's been subscribed and who's been supporting the channel. Last year we went from 1,000 subscribers in January to 5,500, so that's a pretty big jump. I didn't think we'd do that. So for this year, my goal is, and it's kind of ambitious, but it's 25,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That would be 5 times of what I am right now, so hopefully we can make that happen. So if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe already, and let's get started with the video. So I actually haven't been driving this car all that often, so I got a bunch of leaves and crap all over the car, but in today's video we are going to be tackling stuff in the interior. So what we're going to be doing today is taking out the seats, taking out the rear seats, taking off the carpet, the center console, whatever else is needed so that we can take off the carpet, because we are going to be installing sound deadening material all along the floor to help with isolating the noise and making it a lot more comfortable and very nice and quiet in the inside. Don't get me wrong, I love a loud exhaust, but I like to have that on the outside and be very, very quiet on the inside. So doing sound deadening material all along the car will help out tremendously with making it very comfortable, a nice daily to drive. Especially with me making the car louder, it is going to be a little more MVH inside of the car. So to counteract that, I am installing sound deadening material to help out with that. Noico ended up helping out with the build. They wanted to go ahead and send out a little care package for me to be able to tackle this project. Now the coolest thing about this is I ended up using Noico in the beginning when I first started my channel, and they ended up seeing the video and wanted to help out with the build. So ever since then we've been doing this together. So I really appreciate Noico for that. They didn't have to do that, but they've been a partner ever since, and they've been helping out with the sound deadening part of the build. So the goal is to be able to put everything on the floor, because it is a lot of area that we'll be covering. It should be the biggest improvement that we'll see. In my previous videos, I have installed sound deadening material under the seats in the rear, and I also have done my trunk. The most recent one that I've done is the 2 doors in the inside. I've covered them with sound deadening material. And like I said, I am going to be making the car louder since I'm going to get test pipes, so I'm going to be looking to making this quieter for that as well. So it is going to be quite a bit of work. I'm not sure if I'll finish it today, but we'll go ahead and tackle as much as we can and then finish up tomorrow. So the first thing you got to do is move the seat all the way back so you can access both of the 14mm bolts on the front. So now that I have the bolts taken out on the front, I'm going to move it all the way to the front so I can remove the ones in the back, and then we'll be able to go ahead and move the seat back and go ahead and disconnect all the connectors under the seat. So I took off the bolts from both of the seats, and one thing that you have to do before you disconnect all those connectors is disconnect the battery. There's airbag connectors and you don't want to really be messing with those with the battery on, so go ahead and disconnect the battery before you're messing around with anything airbag related. It's just a good habit to have as well, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then we'll be able to go ahead and disconnect everything. Oh god. Alright guys, so I ended up taking out both seats out of the car, and it was kind of a pain just because some things were just too tight on there and you couldn't get access to it. But I have something to show you guys. You guys are going to have a good laugh at this. I basically have a brand new car now, so let me show you guys. First of all, disregard all this mess. It's just stuff that has fallen into the abyss. If you have a G35, you know that's just something that happens. But I was looking into this little piece of carpet. This basically goes under the carpet, and I'm looking at this yellow tag, and I pull it out, and I'm like, what the heck? So this is a Toyota Key Fob from like a random ass car. I don't know whose it is. I don't know where this came from. I don't even know who to contact. Got ourselves a new Toyota, so new car for the channel coming soon once I find it. But this is kind of crazy. I knew I'd find something, but I didn't think I'd find a whole key fob to a car. Alright guys, so next up we're gonna have to remove the rear seat cushion, the bottom portion only, not the top, so we can have access to the carpet. It's really easy to remove these. You literally just lift up on both sides and then it'll pop off and you'll be good to go to remove it. Alright guys, so some progress has been made. So I ended up removing the 2 little screws that are right here on each side. Those basically keep the center console in place, and there's also going to be 2 right there. So you're going to have to remove the little finisher, that bezel for the shifter that comes with the shift boot. Now we can go ahead and lift this and take it out of the car. This is insane. It feels so weird to be that far from the steering wheel. We do need to take off the kick plate. We also need to take off just like the weather stripping. And then from there, there's that little plastic piece right there, the dead pedal, and then same thing on the other side. And then the last thing I forgot is also the seat belt anchor bolt. This looks crazy. I've never taken out an interior. I've never taken off seats. So this is really cool. Literally just kick back. There's not too many videos out on how to take out the interior in your G35. So I'm kind of showing a little bit of that. So if you're looking to do this yourself on your G35, you want to make it quieter in the inside, take out the seats first, like I said, and then you can go ahead and tackle the rest. I kind of wanted to show you guys what I'm doing so that way you guys can see that it's not that difficult at all. So what I'm thinking is I might try pulling it from this side up so that way I don't have to go ahead and move everything forward. So what I ended up doing is I ended up moving this little panel that has all the fuses right there. And then I also got the dead pedal out like I had said. So that's what I think I'm going to be doing. Instead of going from this side forward, I'm probably just going to lift it this side and then lift that side this way. So that way I don't have to worry about trying to move everything forward all at one time. And for the people wondering, I am going to clean this. I'm probably going to clean it before I go ahead and do all the sound deadening, just so none of that dirt and debris gets into the floor. Alright guys, so after a little bit of vacuuming, it looks a lot better. I might go ahead and try to get a little bit of the stains out since there's like some black stains right here, but I'll do that later. So you can see, you can go ahead and access everything that you want to access in the bottom. So I'm kind of disappointed because I ended up taking out that center console and I don't think I really needed to do that. FYI, for the people that are trying to do it, you don't need to take off your center console, so that's going to save you a lot of time. Alright guys, so some time has passed and I went ahead and installed some of the materials. So I have double pass right here, double pass right here. I try to get along just the flat areas because that's where it needs it most. That's why I didn't put it here. So I ended up putting some right here as well and down here. And then I have a little bit on the edges right here. And you can also see that they had some from OEM.
The next day.
Alright guys, so it is the next day and I ended up doing a couple things off camera. So what I ended up doing is just cleaning up and vacuuming everything and taking a couple stains off of the carpet. So as you guys can see, there's a big difference in the way it is now. So I'll put pictures up on screen of how it was before and after. Now we're ready to go ahead and install the sound deadening material under the carpet. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. Alright, so it has been some time and we ended up installing all the sound deadening material. I also went ahead and did a bit of the trans tunnel just so we can help out with that. I got my buddy Leo helping out. So we also got to clean the seats. So all the seats are going to be clean now. So we should be good on fitment with the carpet still. I just don't want to go ahead and put it too thick to where the carpet doesn't match up anymore. So one thing to know is these little hooks, there's going to be one in the back right there and you have to go ahead and pop this out so you can use a little flathead and pry it out. That one's going to be kind of hard to get to unless you go ahead and move the panel out. What is that?
You're gonna owe me 20 bucks after I help you out later.
What? I can't put this in the video. The bolts for the seats and the bolts for the anchors are all going to be 32 to 40 foot-pounds. So if you're doing this, those are the torque numbers for the bolts. Other than that, really straightforward. Like I've been saying, this is really easy. It's just one of those things that takes time. So now I'm going to go ahead and move the car. We're going to go ahead and clean up the garage and then we'll go for a test drive.
Hey, right up.
Dude, no fucking way. Alright, so it's Leo's big day. He's gonna go ahead and drive the G35. Please, if you stall, you have a one stall trial here. If you stall it, I'll be upset with you. You can let go of the clutch. Jesus Christ. Oh, too fast. Jesus. Damn, no stall.
Wow, it's almost like I've done this before.
It's almost like you've driven a manual car.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Hey, good job. Right now we're going 40 miles an hour and the car is honestly really quiet. I feel like you can have a nice conversation. It doesn't sound, if that makes any sense, it doesn't sound like we're going 40 or 45 right now. Since we did basically sound treat the whole car, at this point, the biggest thing that made I guess the biggest difference would be the door cards, because they're right next to you, so you actually get to hear the difference, and also the floor. So those two, if you were to do any, would be the biggest ones that I would recommend doing, just because it's all the stuff that's inside of the cabin. The trunk is another thing you can do, but you honestly don't really get much out of it. So right now we're going at 65 miles an hour, and I'll get quiet so you guys can go ahead and hear, but it's not that bad. It's not bad at all. We're going 65, or I guess 60 now, but it's not bad at all. Like, it's pretty quiet in here. You know, having poly everything, you get a lot of MBH, especially when you're in the highway. Having this and then having the cutouts so I can make the exhaust quieter and louder makes it really, really nice and really enjoyable to drive. And then you pair that up along with the BC coils, the fact that you can go ahead and make them softer so it's softer over bumps. This turns into like a really nice daily, and you're not really sacrificing much at all. All right guys, so that's gonna be all for this video. So we ended up doing two things. We ended up cleaning the whole interior, basically the whole carpeting, which was really rewarding for myself. And I also have never taken out an interior, so that was something I learned how to do. So really, really easy. On top of that, we ended up installing the sound deadening material. Again, shout out to Noico. They went ahead and supplied all the product for us to do. Go ahead and check out their products. They make really good stuff and it's really affordable. That was the reason why I got it to begin with. With that being said, next week's video might be the test pipes video, or it might be Leo's car getting max beating rods coilovers. So stay tuned for that. We're gonna go ahead and sign off, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.